Well, anybody who thought the Raptors were going to sweep away the Wizards, well, you're wrong. Raptors, as of right now, with 2:54 to go, are down 116-97. It's over. It's been over since the beginning of the fourth quarter. The Raptors do push it to 13 at some point, then can't defend, can't make their shots, and then they go on a little run again. That was kind of the story of the game. You know what else is the story of the game? The turnovers for the Toronto Raptors. Abysmal. Every category for the Raptors was abysmal. You look at the turnover rate. Oh, look at that. Another turnover. Last time I looked, it was 17 turnovers. Now it's 18. And the points off of turnovers is the big problem. Down the stretch into the regular season and the first couple of games of the playoffs, the turnover numbers have been too high. But they haven't been getting burned. Today, you got burned like crazy. They have at least, you guys can probably find out the exact number, they have at least 25 points off of turnovers. That is way too much. A joke. This team was, overall this season, one of the best teams at containing the basketball and one of the best teams and getting points off of other teams' turnovers. Well, down the stretch, and like I said, into the playoffs, we've been turning the ball over way too much, and you get burned today. The Wizards, they did a great job defensively bottling up the Raptors, and the Raptors just didn't do anything special. You didn't have that one guy to fire up a great game. DeRozan had 23, but he shot 45% on 10 of 22 shooting. Lowry had 19, which is great. Serge Ibaka was borderline useless, 1 of 4 from the field, 0 of 1 from 3. So after his first two great games, he's been awful. But then in the start of the game, really early on, OG hard foul on Morris, fine. Morris gets up and gives him an elbow. Okay. OG pushes him back, and I understand you don't want to retaliate, but a guy just elbowed you in the back. What are you going to do? Just kind of go, and walk away? No, you're going to stand up for yourself. OG pushes him back, some pushes and shoves, and then Ibaka, he's always in the mix of it. And really, I think it was like offsetting technicals, and that's about that. And the first quarter for the Raptors, look, for the most part it was good until the Wizards made a big run down the stretch of the first quarter, and they were down 1 after 1, but it's only 1 point, so it's okay. Second quarter, you give up 39. You score 32, but you give up 39, and you're down 8 at the half. But 8 points is still serviceable because it was 13 at one point in the second quarter. Raptors did chip it away into single digits, so you felt okay about yourself. Going into the third quarter, you needed to come out firing. We've known they've done that all season, and they don't. 32-21 in the third quarter, and you're down, 19 after 3 quarters. And at one point, you were down 16. The Raptors were down 16. They made a little run there at the end of the third to cut it to 16 points. But then a buzzer beater through, I think it was by Ty Lawson or somebody, at the end of the third quarter, and it put it up to 19. Raptors show some fight, I guess, down the stretch, cut that 19 deficit down to 13 at one point, but then it's pretty much over from there. Coming back from an 18-point deficit after 3 quarters, it's borderline impossible. And they showed that today. Raptors down by 20 right now. Ain't that just great? And you look at this team, what did they do today? Well, they only shot 46% from the field. We've known them to shoot over 50%. Well, the Wizards shot 56% from the field. Raptors were 12 of 27 as of right now, 44% from 3. The Wizards, 10 for 22 for 46% from 3. And the free throw percentage, very, very, very even, 89% for the Raptors, 90% for the Wizards. The rebounding, that has been a very good plus for the Raptors in the first 2 games. Today, not so much. Right now, they're plus 5 on the glass. The offensive boards are even, 7 apiece. But the big problem, the ball wasn't moving much at all. Only 18 assists for the Raptors. They, as of right now, 27 assists. Not good enough. They had 10 steals to our 8. 8 blocks to our 4. And like I said, the turnover number is through the roof. 18 turnovers for the Raptors, 11 for the Wizards. And look, the Raps just did not play well at all. Who played well in the first couple games that did not play well today? Serge Ibaka. And I was scared that he was going to get thrown out there, but luckily a security guard got in the way. He only had 3 points, 6 rebounds, and 1 of 4 shooting, 0 of 1 from 3. He was nowhere to be found in the game. OG was great, 12 points on 4 of 5 shooting, 2 of 3 from 3. He had a good night, but hasn't played a lot of minutes down the stretch of the season, and he plays 26 today. again, it's tough to see there. JV got torn apart in the inside. He had an awful time on screens. Every time Lowry got caught up on a screen, JV's just standing there like, what do I do? And then it's a wide open shot. Doesn't contest, doesn't do any of that. He does get 14 points, 5 rebounds, but on the defensive end, nowhere to be found. And like I just said, the screens were a problem. Now, credits to the Wizards. Gortat, Mahimi, all those guys, they set really hard, solid screens. Lowry, DeLon Wright, all these guys were getting caught in those screens, and the Raptors really couldn't do anything about it. Lowry and DeRozan both, DeRozan had 23 points, Lowry 17 points, 7 assists, but both guys, DeRozan shot 10 of 22 as of right now again, 45% from, they're done for the game, so that's that. 10 of 22 shooting, 45% from the field, 6 of 14 for Lowry, 42% from the field. Lowry's 5 of 8 from 3, that's great. DeMar 1 of 4, but the problem for DeMar, minus 17 while he's on the floor. Again, him and Lowry were terrific in the first couple games when it comes to their plus-minus on the floor. CJ Miles, abysmal. 9 points on 1 of 5 from 3. 4 or 5 from the free throw line, but 2 of 7 from the field. Not good enough. Minus 22 on the floor. DeLon Wright, minus 15 on the floor. Only 6 points. So him and CJ, both, one guy had, 18 and then 15. Both guys had great first couple games. Neither of them hit double digits in the game, and they both shoot abysmal percentages. And they can't take care of the basketball. But in this game, you see the loss of Fred VanVleet. It's been kind of hidden the last couple games. You saw it today. And I was shocked that he didn't play in the game. But he didn't. Doesn't come into the game, doesn't dress, doesn't play at all. And I'm like, oh boy. I'm just hoping he comes back for Game 4 because this team does need him. And before we break down what this team needs to do better going into the next game, when there was almost a big punch up there, when the Raptors were kind of sluggish, and I think they were down 15 or something, there's a little talking smack, and then Serge Ibaka loses his mind. Luckily, the Washington security guard gets in there real fast. Even though he's a big man, he gets in there real fast, grabs Serge Ibaka, and if he didn't, oh boy, Serge Ibaka might have been suspended. But he holds him back. And while they're trying to figure out technicals and which goes where and all that kind of stuff, Wizard fans, really? Raptors suck. First place in the East, 59 wins. We're leading 2-1 in the series, and we suck. Okay? Yeah, we lost this game bad. But like we said in the Leaf videos, and we'll say it again here, you could lose by 1 point. You could be the Cleveland Cavaliers and lose by 2 to Indiana today. Or you could be the Raptors and lose by, 19 today. They're both only 1 loss. And also, right as they're saying Raptors suck, USA, USA, USA. Are you nuts? Really? Is that what this has come to now? What? The only team I know that does that is the Baltimore Orioles, and they got no fans to do it with now. Really? And then, I'm okay with the fans doing it because they're all nuts anyways. And, guys, you know what? I know people are going to say, well, the USA, half the people in the Raptors are from, or all the players in the Raptors are from not Canadian anyways. I know. Just because it's a Canadian team. But I know Twitter and I know Instagram, people start chirping each other, USA, USA, all that stuff. But hearing it in the arena, and then they play Born in the USA, Born in, all that kind of stuff. And I'm like, so, okay, the fans, they do it, whatever. They're hyped, they're pumped, they hate Canada and the Raptors, whatever. They do that. But to have the actual people who work in the arena play that, it's pretty classless. The fans are one thing, and the players are another thing. But the actual people who work there, that's sad. It is really sad. And I know when we come back to the ACC, I'm hoping they don't do anything about it. I'm hoping Raptor fans and the Raptors staff don't do anything. I hope let's just play our game. Let's just play our normal songs, do our thing, and not stoop to that level because it's stupid. It's 2018, guys. There's no need for that stuff. The Raptors lost today. I'm not just, you're just salty because the Raptors lost. No, I'm not really. The Raptors lost. They didn't deserve to win today. We're still up 2-1 in the series. This team can rebound in the next game. Hopefully Fred VanVleet plays and they actually take care of the basketball. But really, dear Wizard fans and Wizards staff or whoever is doing the music or whatever, how about showing some class? That'd be nice from Raptor fans. All right? You know what, guys? That is going to do it for this one. You guys enjoyed this video, and you guys have enjoyed the playoff basketball so far. Didn't really enjoy the game, though. Hit that like button. I do appreciate that. Hit that subscribe button if you guys have not already. Comment down below. What did you guys think of the game? Where did the Raptors go wrong? Obviously, we know the points off of turnovers. Look, they forced the turnovers. They made their shots. In the end, that's what happened. Raptors did not make their shots when they needed to. And CJ Miles and DeLon Wright were not good off the bench. The bench, period. Siakam and Pirtle, nowhere to be found. They got to be better, all right? Let me know what you guys thought about the game, the whole antics. You know, you guys want to chime in about that, go right ahead. We'll talk to you guys hopefully next Tuesday, podcast edition, Tuesday night. Leafs, Raptors, Jays. Link is in the description for the podcast channel and for the podcast itself on iTunes. Hey, go check that out. Also, Twitter is down in the description below, guys. Follow up, DM me, do all that great stuff. Link is in the description for the Twitter. We'll talk to you guys Leafs edition late tomorrow night. Again, it might be directly after the game. It might be later on. I'm not exactly sure how it's all going to go down. But it will be out to you guys tomorrow night. Don't you guys worry about that. Hopefully the Leafs can find a way to stay alive against the Bruins like Philadelphia did today against the Penguins. That's all we hope and pray for. We'll talk to you guys Jays edition very shortly as they get the victory against the Yankees. And we'll talk about that entire game. And we'll talk to you guys Raptors edition. Game 4, Sunday night. Again, this one might be a little bit later too. I'm going to be going to see my girlfriend. So it'll probably be later on that night. Maybe around this time. Maybe a little bit later. Again, I'll keep you guys posted on Twitter about all that kind of stuff. 6 p.m. tip-off in Washington. The Raptors look to, exercise their road demons in the playoffs. They have not been good on the road in the playoffs ever, really. And they got to turn that around. Starting Sunday evening, Raptors, Wizards, Game 4. Raps look for the 3-1 series lead. Wizards look to tie the series heading back to Toronto. This is a big game for the Raptors. Like the Leafs was last night and they lost, this one is for the Raptors, all right? So we'll talk to you guys then, hoping for a 3-1 series lead and taking care of the basketball. Talk to you guys then.